Jake. I can't see you. Can you hear me? Jake?
Hello?
Are you alive?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah. Now you can see me?
Yeah, let me,
Can you hear me, like, well?
Yeah, I can hear you pretty well. What do you think of the decorations?
That looks nice. Is that the
Buddy?
trophy shelf, or is
This is the trophy shelf that I got so far. So this one is the open class B one. This is my teen men's physique trophy.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, because
that's kind of sweet, actually. Yeah, I like
it's
that.
pretty fucking. There's a giant chip in the corner because as soon as I got off stage, they had me turn around because I placed last in in the other division. So I had to go get this one, and I dropped the other one.
Oh, like, did everyone see you drop it?
No, it was backstage.
Like okay.
It was backstage. Thank
That's
God.
Better then. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. It was pretty fucking cool having everyone see me win all these trophies.
It was so fun to be there, dude.
Was it actually? I mean,
it was. Like, I genuinely had a really good time.
I'm glad.
I didn't know if I was going to. I wasn't sure, but it was.
I wasn't sure either because it was a long day, man.
It was. I was exhausted a lot. I was like a combination of extremely high and exhausted.
Yeah, we didn't go to the bar after. That's for sure. We got home and I dropped Aaron off and just immediately went to bed.
Yeah, I figured he probably would,
but for the sake of,
that's a long drive too. It would have been different if you were right there, but
yeah, it was. And Vermont's roads suck.
Oh yeah.
Like the worst part about Vermont's roads.
Sucks. Like,
yeah.
Well, like everything about driving sucks. Let me rephrase that.
I don't know. I kind of like driving sometimes.
I meant driving in Vermont.
Oh yeah.
Like the people driving suck. The roads suck.
There's like so many unnecessary 180s.
Yeah.
So, but it was interesting, going backstage and all. Backstage was just a fucking hallway with paper on it, though. I don't know if you saw that.
I did. I saw your one picture.
Yeah, they put a bunch of paper on the floor so the tan wouldn't get on it.
Kevin was so confused, and we were talking to one guy in line who, I guess, I don't know, knows about this stuff better than most would. And he like overheard us, and he was surprised, and he was like confused talking about it too, because he's like, "What? They don't even have anything backstage?"
No, there was nothing at the show back there.
They're all thrown off by it.
I don't know why. I think probably due to COVID. Like,
maybe.
I don't know. And there's this one dude.
They weren't sure if it was going to go through or not. They probably were hesitant the entire time.
This one dude kept running around and like using everyone's equipment that was out when they weren't there, like when they were on stage. Yeah. That's fucked up.
It's weird.
It's pretty weird, but he was pretty loud in general. So, but what was it like?
Did he do okay?
He placed second to me in juniors.
Oh, he was that guy. Okay.
Yeah. So,
I thought he might have been.
Yeah, and he was like using other people's benches, and so one guy brought a bench and some dumbbells, and he just went over and started using it, and I'm like, bro, not cool.
Yeah.
And he like, one person brought a mirror to practice their posing in.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, can I use this? And they're like, sure. And then he grabs it and goes somewhere else so he can like sit on the guy's bench and do
what?
Yeah. So there was a lot of wild stuff going on in that hallway.
At least you won that though. It feels even better after that.
I still have like mad imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like I won.
Yeah.
That cheesecake's gone though.
Oh, I bet it is. How long did it last?
Almost 2 days actually.
That ain't bad.
Well, because the day after, Aaron and I started our day with 2 Timmy's breakfast sandwiches, 3 honey crullers, and a large coffee.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that. I think it's an Insta story or something.
Yeah, and then I ate like another 3 slices of cheesecake, and then my uncle
you had like a lunch or something or dinner, right? Yeah.
Well, my uncle sent me a text and he's like, "Bro, your abs looked insane. Didn't think you were gonna win." And I'm like, "Oh, sick, thanks." And then he's like, "You need Ben and Jerry's," and I'm like, "I do need Ben and Jerry's." And he sends me $15 to go get ice cream.
That's awesome.
So I go get ice cream, and then I go get Burger King. And then I ate some more cheesecake. I had some chicken and rice. Cause
I'm surprised you can eat that. Like, I'm surprised your stomach can handle eating that much that quickly.
My abs hurt. Like, from how much I ate. I think...
You haven't thrown up at all? Like, not even the first night?
No, that's like a personal thing. I genuinely have not... I choose not to throw up.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the last time I threw up was when Aaron was living on 86. And I went over there to party, and I was just like, hands and knees, just violently.
Those days were
vomiting.
Different, though. Those were different days.
Yeah. I might have
different lives.
I've almost thrown up a bunch of times from eating in the off season, though.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, dude. I put away calories because
I mean, you gotta. Yeah.
You can call yourself a hard gainer or whatever, but you don't know if you're a hard gainer until you force 5,000 calories in a day for like 4 weeks straight. Like,
yeah.
You aren't unless you're willing to push it to like a crazy extreme. You're not a hard gainer. You're just having a difficult time gaining muscle. Like everyone's like, "Oh, I'm a something blah 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 body type blah 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 blah." I don't give a fuck what your body type is.
Do some work. It might take more effort to put it, like more effort to get there, but you can still do it for sure.
My co-host is here.
Yeah, the cat.
Yeah, let me.
Aww.
Yeah, my co-host.
How's he doing?
He's good, man. He's doing good for being a 12-year-old cat.
Yeah. He's always just chilling.
He hangs out, man. He's spoiled rotten. But yeah, there's no intro to this podcast or anything.
Alright.
Yeah, we've just been going.
Alright, that's fine.
I figured, mostly what this is like a time capsule, so I can attempt to remember what my early 20s were like. And,
that's nice to have, too.
Try to keep it fitness focused. But, like, one episode is literally just a video of me playing Magic with my friends.
That's
But let's recap that weekend. So we got to your house, and immediately smoked like a nuclear amount of weed.
So much. The highest I've ever been, by far, ever.
Can we pause for 1 second? It's so cool that it's legal now.
It is.
Like it's like talk about it. Even when we started smoking, it was still a pretty big stigma. Not around it, but like around usage in public and shit. And now you can just walk down the street with like a big fat doobie, and nobody bats an eye. Like,
one of the weirdest things when I moved here and started my new job, because it's been legal in Vermont for a lot longer now.
A couple of years now.
And like people were like talking about it like in the break room at work, like with the boss in the room, just talking about. And I was like, that's so strange to me that it's done so like openly.
Well, it's like talking about having a drink
3 months
now.
ago in New York. It was nuts.
That's true, but we smoked a comical amount of weed.
Yeah.
And then watched Binging with Babish for a while, and I drank no water, and I don't know how I did that, by the way.
Suffered through.
I have no idea. That was probably the hardest fucking part of prep.
I think you had like 1 cup or like half a cup.
Half a glass of water, yeah.
Second day.
In the morning before we left, I had half a glass of water to take some vitamins, because even though I'm doing bodybuilding shows, my health comes first, to an extent.
To an extent.
To an extent, whatever. Bodybuilding, of course, I don't give a fuck about my health, but like. And then, prejudging went crazy well. Like, you didn't really know what judging or bodybuilding shows were supposed to look like. So what did that look like from your perspective? Because basically what happened is in the first one, they moved me right in the middle.
Yeah, so when I was watching, I didn't know like getting moved to the middle really meant anything. I thought it was maybe just like to see better angles or to get the other perspective or something like that. But a lot of the other things, like in terms of watching a lot of other competitors show up, Kevin was a huge help with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was talking to me through it. He'd like critique people or like point certain things out. But also just you talking like in between your time off, like in between matches or like rounds or whatever you want to call them, I guess. when you took those like few minutes to come back and say how things went, like that was just enough of a learning thing on its own. Like after you told me the getting moved to the center, what it meant the first time, then the next show after that, I could pick up on it a lot more when other people were getting moved around and what was going on.
Yeah.
So that was cool too. But it was just a nice like learning, cool. I don't know. It was unique in like every way from anything I've been to. Like the people in the audience were all supportive of like everybody.
Isn't that crazy?
Cool, yeah.
Like there's this weird stigma around bodybuilding that it's these angry meatheads, you know? But everyone was just hilariously supportive of everyone.
Yeah.
Like
even just seeing people like fist bump walking through, like even like people on stage together were fist bumping, and it was, I don't know, you don't usually see that. People usually get a lot more like competitive and boasty in most sports. So it's nice.
Well, it's the act of bodybuilding is very humbling because you have to slowly watch your body degrade. Like, you have to slowly feel yourself, like, die.
To just suffer for so long.
Yeah, because most people do about 8 to 12 weeks. I did 16 because I understood that I'm not big. I needed to do it slowly. Like, I needed to make sure that there was zero muscle loss. Because I'm not packing enough muscle where I could lose a little bit and still be competitive.
That's a fair point.
So, yeah, one of the issues a lot of people run into is they're not realistic with their prep. They think they can do more than they can. Like,
so you get, like, burnt out is what you're saying.
Well, they're like, if I do this week at a normal diet, I only need 8 weeks to diet. If I do 3 hours of cardio a day and eat 1,100 calories of only protein. Like, you can't diet too hard. Gotcha. You're just gonna burn out. Yeah. And you gotta make sure it's sustainable. Like, I eat the same foods in the off season, just more.
Easy enough.
Yeah. I mean, I change a couple things.
Yeah.
Like, I substitute rice for spinach when we get closer and shit. But, like, I switch whole wheat pasta for, like, veggie pasta. Because veggie pasta has, like, no carbs, basically, after... So, the only issue with the veggie pasta, though, that you gotta worry about is that fiber, man. Ho, 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 ho. Good lord. You ever had that edamame pasta shit, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, lordy, that's a redonkulous time, my friend. It is not a good time. Dude, he's drooling.
Like on your leg.
Like just kind of everywhere. It's like getting on my hand. But then we got to the night show. So in between, what did we do? Oh god, I really hope Kevin never sees this, because in between we smoked even more fucking.
It's like what we did. We smoked so much.
Dude,
what else are you gonna do, man? You had like an hour in between. There's not much.
We had way more than an hour in between.
Oh,
between the pre-judging and the night show, we had 4.5 hours.
Oh, we were freaking exhausted though.
Yeah, we were just like sleeping by that point, basically. Yeah. We were so tired.
We planned on like sleeping for a little bit, but I don't think we ever did.
I just kind of lied down.
Or I think we just kind of
And then the night show, and that was awesome. Getting to, because there was like twice as many people at the night show. Right? Like, there was a lot more actually. Yeah. Like, almost completely sold out, which blew my mind. I didn't think there'd be that many people at this tiny show.
I thought there'd be only like a little bit more than the first one. I didn't think.
But it was like
that much more.
Drastically different.
Like, a lot more family showed up to
That's true. Yeah.
The finals. So.
Getting to go out there in front of that whole crowd and JoJo pose.
Yeah.
He's a little animated, but he's the winner, so...
That was great. That was the best line in the entire show.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
It kind of encompasses my entire, like, bodybuilding as a whole thus far.
Yeah.
I'm still a gamer nerd. Like, I just happen to be jacked now. Like, well, shucks. Like,
you haven't been gaming as much lately, though.
I've been busy. I've been real busy.
Yeah?
Been busy, I've been playing a little bit of Minecraft, not much.
Yeah.
I gotta grind League, because the fucking, what do you call it? The split ends soon, and I haven't got my rewards for the split. So, and my duo queue partner's like on fire right now.
Yeah.
Oh, he's tearing it up. I think he's like 5-0 in his last 5 games. So.
Yeah. Hit it then.
Well, it's probably because he's not playing with me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Maybe.
He's much better than I am.
Well, if you haven't played in a while, it's tough to jump back in.
Devin and I have one of my favorite stories ever, dude. Like, because fucking sit up straight, Kevin. Jesus Christ. So we used to hang out and play like League and Magic and shit all the time in high school, and then he started dating this girl, and I may or may. Okay, so if you're bad at League, I'm gonna flame you.
Okay.
Okay, if you're bad at League, you're gonna get flamed, and if I'm doing shit, flame me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fair.
That's just how it works.
Yeah, that's the culture.
That's the culture. Dude. Yeah. So I may or may not have flamed the shit out of her one time, and she told Devin never to talk to me again.
Oh.
And they were together for like 2 years or so. And then one day I was on League and I get a message from him. He's like, "You want to play?" I'm like, "Sure." And I'm like, "Bro, my boy was getting laid. How can I even be mad?"
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Like, think of it this way: he had to not talk to me to get laid. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
When it's all said and done and it's all over, and he's like, "All right, let's get back on League."
Yeah.
So that
yeah.
That's solid. Respect.
Yeah.
Respect.
And it's like, you can't even be mad.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not my type, but maybe to him, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever gets you there.
I guess so. But I mean,
so, what was it like for you to go into the finals? Because, like you said, it was a pretty good vibe coming out of the judges.
So I knew I won juniors. There was no question about that. They moved me right into the middle, had us go through like 2 more rounds of posing, and then had us get off stage. Right, and that's basically a surefire sign that I won that one. But in Open B, they moved another guy to the side of me. They didn't move me, and I was like, okay, maybe they're putting him ahead of me. And they ran us through poses again, and then sent us off. So I was like, kind of worried about that one, and I was just thinking, I was like, well, at least I'll take home 1 trophy, right? And even when we were lining up for juniors, I didn't think I was going to win. If that makes sense. I don't know if that's...
kind of like that feeling and like that, the nerves, they'll hit you.
I was so fucking
you
gassy,
can't help
too.
But not, like...
I was so gassy. I was like doing squats down backstage, like flexing my abs, trying to push air out. Yeah, I was so gassy. And I was just sitting there, and we're all lined up. And the junior one went pretty quick. They were like, okay, let's get this over with. And they announced me as the winner, and that was pretty cool. But then we immediately lined up for I don't know. Like, I saw the head judges, like... So when you sent me those scorecards, let me explain what those mean. The 5 means that every judge had me... So, yes, you get 1 point for ranking in first.
Okay.
And
so
2 points for second. 5, 10, 15.
Clear cut. Okay.
Yeah, so I was the unanimous victor in both of my divisions, or section thingies.
Yeah.
So that's what those scorecards mean. So when I was going out, and I saw that the judges were looking at me, like right in the middle, I was like, okay, that's awesome. That's so cool. And, I mean, it's kind of hard to explain, because it's pretty surreal. It's like, I'm dieted down, so my brain's barely working. I just pounded a bunch of pre-workout. I ate a hilarious amount of carbs, and I'm stoned out of my mind. And there's like 350 people sitting in front of me as I'm standing there in my underwear. Like, you know, it's electric. It's so cool. It's one of my coworkers said, he's like, hey man, it's commendable you take 1 step towards your dream. And I'm like, that's what that was. It was just the first big step that I've made towards that. And that's why it feels so cool. You know? It's like, it's not a huge major accomplishment, but it's the big first step.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this is a big accomplishment all on its own, but yeah, it is just 1 step on the way.
Yeah. Well, that's how I look at it.
You just got to keep focused on the next one.
Well, yeah. nationals. I gotta bulk up. I gotta put on some weight. I wasn't getting out-muscled that bad, though, I didn't think.
Not
the guy
bad.
who won out-muscled me by quite a bit.
Yeah.
But the other guy...
Most people you were competing against, you matched pretty well.
The other guy that was for the overalls, I think I was pretty on par with him.
Yeah, he was just
much taller than me. Yeah, he was like almost a full foot taller than me. I'm not tall. Apparently, I'm 5'6".
Yeah.
That's what they measured me as. I just think the guy wasn't paying attention.
You're also starving.
I was pretty starved.
You're probably slouched a bit. I don't know.
Realistically, yeah.
You're probably a little sluggish at the time.
I found it interesting how many dudes, like... So you saw how I was wearing baggy shit to keep my tan good, and it still was getting messed up. How many dudes were wearing, like, skin-tight stuff back there? Did you notice that?
I'm not sure how they... Yeah, I noticed it when we, like, were going to get the tan.
Yeah. So many dudes
I thought
were
about
like...
it, I was like, I don't know. But I couldn't notice from the seats out there.
No, but up close you could.
So I wouldn't know. I couldn't... Yeah, I don't know.
Up close you could tell really bad.
Were theirs all messed up, or were they...
There were some guys that were sweating, bro.
Oh, yeah.
It was just dripping down the front of them. Those classic physique guys.
Yeah, there were some people, like, when they were on stage flexing, it just started, like, running down their chest, and it was like, oof.
What'd you think of the one guy who was going, what?
He was getting a little bit of, like, he was getting a bit of an audience reaction, I guess. I don't know if it was good or bad, but he was getting a little something.
That's one thing, man. When they start cheering for you, like when I won and everyone started like cheering, that's so cool. Coming from a guy who like sits in his house all day, other than work, like working a dead end retail job and then sits in his house all day after he gets done working out. Like that's pretty out of the norm. Not normal. Pretty weird, man.
All the time and work you put into it. That's
doesn't feel like work though. I got like Stockholm syndrome for working out.
Yeah,
I like have to torture myself every day. Right? I don't feel accomplished. Like today, I went in and squatted 315. So I hit 315 for 3 sets of 3. I'm a little bitch, but also fresh off of dieting, and I deadlifted yesterday, so probably shouldn't have
How
done
much is
that.
your workout regimen going to change?
Quite a bit.
Workout style and everything like that.
I'm gonna go much heavier, lower the volume a little bit. I'm not a volume guy. I respond decently well to volume, but I respond the best to going heavy. Yeah. And like supersets and shit. Just stuff to increase the volume artificially, you know, without having to do just strict straight sets.
Yeah.
I don't like to look at a workout in inherent volume, rather in density, if that makes sense. Like that probably sounds really silly, but how dense are your sets? Because you
pack the work into like fewer reps.
Yeah. Well,
So
also I'll do like
dense.
crazy things like cluster sets. You remember doing those? Did we do those together?
Cluster sets. I don't know.
So a cluster set,
maybe
you'll take a weight that you can do for like 8, right? And you're gonna do it for 5, and then rack it, wait 15 seconds, do it for 5, rack it, wait 50. So you do that 4 times. Cancer.
I don't think we did those.
So you take a weight that you can do for 8 and do it for 20.
Jesus.
It's rough,
I'm
man.
just working out with you though. It was such a freaking good time.
It's
yeah. It wasn't like a fun.
Well, in the moment it wasn't fun.
But it was.
But
It was.
I don't. Most people don't train like I do though.
Yeah.
I train. Branch Warren's my fucking hero.
I mean, I might have slowed you down a little bit, but I was at least doing like the similar things.
You should see when I train with Alan. I annihilate that poor guy. I destroy that man. I take away his will to live. Like, yeah, I've seen him almost start like he's almost gassed out on legs a couple times with me, like falling asleep on me. Yeah, I was hitting legs today though, and
legs are fucked tough, dude.
Legs is a rough day when we're working out in Maxi. Legs is a tough time, cause I'll just squat until I'll die. Like I don't even care.
Say, though.
Yeah.
Like that pain, you just feel like you just accomplished so much.
Well, especially with the drop sets on that hack squat.
Ugh.
I was pushing mad weight when we were working together, though. I was doing like 4.5 plates on the hack squat for reps.
You were doing literally as much as you could on freaking half the machine you used.
Yeah. You know.
You had just like a hold on weights that weren't quite fit, just so you could get used out of them.
Oh, yeah, I did like... I did a straight set at 6 plates or something like that for like 12. Yeah, I don't know, man. I like powerlifting. It's just so much fun. Just, I'm not... There's something about bodybuilding and how impossible it seems. You know? Like, powerlifting's cool, but bodybuilding's impossible. Like, when you see what I look like now versus what I look like when you met me, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it doesn't make sense. And it happened.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And especially when you get to, like, such high professional levels, it's
impossible.
mind-boggling, dude.
Yeah, and it doesn't... It's so
you
out
look at
there.
It, you're like, I just don't get it.
And it requires
how someone
years.
can actually look like that.
Years of dedication.
Muscles I didn't even know you had. Muscles I didn't even know you could see.
Yeah. The ones that blow my mind are those guys who have like the crazy, ridiculous defined backs.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a Samir Bannout. Let me pull this out. Kitwin! You want it down! Yeah, that's not my fault, Kitwin. I'll pull this over here and then share the screen with you. Share. Can you see Samir?
I can see him, yes.
I
don't know if I've seen this guy really, though. I mean, maybe I have.
Like,
I think I've seen that
what is that?
That's nuts.
This is one of the old black and white photos at the Mr. Olympia.
Look at his calves there, dude.
Dude, yeah.
That's insane.
The 80s were a good, like, that's him next to Phil Heath, man. Like, that's a guy from the 80s. Look at that, man. That's just, it's so crazy. Samir Bannout is one of the legends.
Especially then, because there was so much, like, there's so much more we, like, know and focus on and, like, do with bodybuilding and
that's his back versus Arnold's.
Proteins and everything. Oh, wow.
Yeah, like, that's not even close, dude. Isn't it crazy how much bodybuilding evolved in less than 10 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. His nickname was the Lion of Lebanon.
I've heard of that, but I didn't know that's who that was.
Yeah, it is. Samir Bannout. Legend in bodybuilding. He was one of the guys who went up against Lee Haney. Lee Haney is... that guy. You want to talk about a ridiculous physique. He's about... Back to the screen share. Samir, you're coming back, buddy. This is Lee Haney. People don't know it, but there's never been a better physique than Lee Haney's. Only different physiques. Like,
what do you mean by people don't know it? What do you mean by that?
People are convinced that, like, certain eras, like, have different greatest of all time, that Ronnie's the greatest. Yes, Ronnie is also the greatest, but there's never been anyone better than Lee Haney.
Yeah?
Just different. Just different. Like, that. There's nobody better than that. Just different.
That's crazy.
Isn't that perfect? That's about as close to perfect as you can get in my eyes. Like, what?
What the frick, dude?
Yeah, let me move this. Mr.
See, that's just, like, that's what doesn't look real. Like it's
so perfect. It doesn't even make sense. His proportions are absolutely perfect. The person who dethroned him, though, was the guy who ushered in the era of the mass monster, Dorian Yates.
What?
He ushered in the era of the mass monster. Dorian Yates. He was big. Very big. Yeah, like...
How tall were most of these people? Like, roughly?
5'7" to 5'11", give or take.
Yeah.
Dorian was
like
like 5'10", 260.
Gotcha.
Shredded. Like 260
He was on the higher end too then.
Yeah, very big. He was the first guy to be like Like, what the fuck, big?
Jeez.
He was just a big, wide-waisted British boy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the guy who came along after this. This is my favorite Ronnie. This is 1990. Yeah. What?
What?
They look like his little brothers.
I know.
Like, that's 98 Ronnie, 99, and then 2003. 2003 was when he came in just hilariously big. Ronnie's the greatest bodybuilder ever. Nobody argues that most of the time. I argue it because I'm a pedantic prick. But, you know, nobody argues that Ronnie's the GOAT. And then the guy who came after that is my personal favorite bodybuilder, Phil Heath.
You talk about him a lot.
I like Phil Heath. Look at that. What?
Those legs, dude. What the fuck?
You can't train to look like Phil, though. Like, Phil just has such ridiculously...
Genetics.
Yeah. Like, that's 2011 and then 2012. He put on a bunch of size, yeah, but look at how round he is. Look at how round his chest and shoulders and arms. His biceps are just so round. And his abs insert perfectly.
Yeah.
I like Phil, probably, because I also have narrow clavicles. And I relate to him. And he beat the big-waisted white boy. My quad is cramping so bad.
Oh no.
Ah, dang!
I've seen them flex all of theirs, dude. It's tough. You gotta like stand up.
Oh god, I don't think I could even if I wanted to. Yeah, but Phil dethroned Jay. And Jay was the big-waisted white boy. I forgot to look up Jay because I like Phil so much.
I hear people talk about it.
This is the quad stomp. This is the most legendary
like,
picture ever. This is the most.
I've seen the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Let me move this so I can see what I'm typing. Put it down here. Not you. Bodybuilder. Yeah, Jay won a couple Olympias, and then Dexter Jackson won in between him. He won in 2008. Dex has won more bodybuilding shows than any bodybuilder ever, basically. Any pro open bodybuilder. He retired last year at the age of 50, and his nickname was the Blade because he was always on. He was always sharp. Yeah, just always crazy sharp. He competed in a bunch of different eras. And then
how many shows do people usually is like the average career, would you say?
Like 2 a year.
2 a year?
Yeah, and Dexter he has 29 wins. Wins, not just show. 29 wins.
Damn.
Including a Mr. Olympia, multiple Arnold Classics. Like, guy's done it all. If you can do it in bodybuilding, Dex has done it. Multiple times. And won it. Again and again and again. Yeah, because he's Dexter fucking Jackson.
Crazy.
And that's just kind of how he be. But Aaron's favorite bodybuilder is Chris Bumstead.
Yeah?
Yeah, he likes C-Bum a lot. I like C-Bum. He's fine.
He's fine. Not quite good enough for you, huh?
Well, he's got ridiculous genetics, yeah, but I don't know. Something about... I'm a huge Breon fan. Breon Ainsley.
Yeah?
And that's like the guy that Chris beat to take the title, basically. And I fucking love Breon. I really like Breon. And that upset me. So
That's
it was rightfully deserved. Chris is better than Breon.
Yeah.
I'm just salty. You know, and Classic Physique is a cool division. I can't wait until I eventually am big enough to compete in Classic. That's gonna be so cool. Because, like, there's some big dudes. There's some good physiques in Classic, man.
There's also some, like, not as great physiques.
Yeah.
In
Yes.
this class.
Well, because everybody thinks they have a Classic structure.
Yeah.
Not everyone does. I probably don't, but I want to compete in one pro show in every division.
Yeah.
So.
You don't think you do?
No. No. I have a very modern.
So explain the classic, and explain why you don't think you have the good physique for the classic.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull up C-Bum, and
so this is a good like classic physique.
He's the two-time Mr. Why is that so blurry? That's like the same shot. This is from a year prior, though. It doesn't matter. Okay. Look at his waist versus his shoulders.
Okay, so you just want like that tapered look.
Look at his crazy taper.
Okay.
How big his chest is, big lats, big quads, tiny itty bitty waist. His arms, obviously his arms, everyone picks on his arms and how small they are compared to his lats and shit. But it doesn't matter, and like, just, I am not that wide. I'm not. There are guys that do well that look like me, or that I look like.
Well, you have a smaller waist though, right? You don't think?
Terrence Ruffin. So that's Terrence Ruffin.
Okay.
He was runner-up last year. Or third, I think. Runner-up. One of the two. His posing is beautiful.
Yeah.
But he gives hope to the little guy like me, you know?
Yeah.
So, but a classic physique, in my opinion, is a physique with a really good taper and really good lines. And unless my chest like quadruples in size in the next 2 years, like the issue.
What do you mean by lines?
So when you're looking at his physique, there are. That's a bad example. 2020 Olympia. When you're looking at Terrence's physique, there are very clear start and stops to each part of the pose, if that makes sense.
Okay. I think
it's very crisp.
Okay.
Where when you look at a guy like I'm gonna pick on one of my favorite bodybuilders ever.
Okay.
Because his posing is fine at best.
Okay.
See how he's just being large?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or even C-Bum?
Yeah.
Alex Cambronero is he has very, very crisp lines on his physique.
Okay,
very, very good conditioning too. It just looks different than like a Luke Sando.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Or like a James Hollingshead.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just a different look. And Alex Cambronero is a freaking monster. I love that guy. This guy's awesome. And he always like cocks his head a little bit on all of his poses. It's kind of funny. See? His head's like always slightly cocked to the right. Even on his back shots. His back is nuts, dude.
Yeah, it is.
But classic is more defined by that's so edited to fuck, it doesn't matter. But look at when he's just like standing still, just going for like a pump up pick, grabbing a jacket. His taper is hilarious.
Yeah.
This is Breon. This is my guy. This is Breon Ainsley.
That's a big dude.
Breon Ainsley. I love this guy, man. I love his physique. I think it's just so good. 2020 Olympia was a good showing for him. He just didn't place well.
Yeah.
That's not 2020. Is it? His back is just so crazy, man. Breon always looks so good. But Breon is what they're phasing out. See how he has a more narrow clavicle, bigger, rounder muscles?
Yeah.
He has more rounder, like, bigger features and a little bit of a wider waist compared to Chris. His waist is a little blockier. You see how Chris's lines are smoother into the transitions, where his are blocky. Yes, Breon's muscles are bigger and rounder comparatively. Chris is like 6 inches taller than him, you have to remember.
Yeah.
His muscles are proportionally bigger and rounder, but Chris's flow is better.
Yeah.
His Breon's symmetry is better, but Chris is more classic. There's something intangible there that you just really have to see. You know? Like, this is Wesley Visser.
Yeah.
Wesley Visser has almost the same technical proportions as Chris. But it doesn't look right.
Yeah.
There's something not classic about it.
Okay.
Compared to Chris.
Yeah, he had a much wider waist in that picture.
This guy. This fucking guy. Dude. Logan looks great. He used to be in Men's Physique.
He just looks like he's too good looking as a person. I just don't think that's fair.
He used to be in Men's Physique. Bro, look at that pose. That's so good. Like, come on, man. This guy's great. These are, yeah, there's something intangible about Chris that you just can't.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe, right?
I see it, yeah.
But he's smoother and also harder at the same time. Like, it's a smoother flow to the physique, but it's also like a nice, crisp look at the same time.
Yeah.
Where Breon looks like a bodybuilder. Like, it. Terrence is just doing his thing though. He's just hanging out. So I love Terrence. He's a funny guy. He eats Rice Krispies, man. Yeah, he eats Rice Krispies. I like Logan, but this was him in Men's Physique. Damn, son, right? Like, this was him at the Olympia. That's the Arnold Classic. Sorry, my apologies. Which one was the Olympia? That was all Arnold Classic. That's Sadiq Hadzovic and Andre Ferguson. Andre's abs are nuts. Look at that.
Yeah, they are.
What the fuck? You want to see the guy who's the reason why I do my hands open on my waist?
Okay.
This is the guy why I do that. I want to beat him.
Yeah.
Ryan Terry. Ryan Terry,
Look at that
baby.
Chest, dude. Jesus.
Chest, shoulder, yeah. Boom. That was him when he was a little bit. Yeah, but that's how he does his.
Okay. So that's why you do it. Okay.
That's why I do it.
I guess I never noticed. Yeah. Like, I've noticed you doing it, but I didn't know.
He does it one fist in a hand, too. But yeah, the first time I saw him pose for Men's Physique posing, he did it with the hands. So I wanted to do it like that. Like that. Six-pack abs. Don't ever... If I catch you with one of those books, ever, I'll fucking smack you. I will come over and punch you in the mouth.
Even if I was, like, in the market for a book like that,
you just call me.
The internet would have it everywhere. Like there's so many better markets to get something like that than, like, buying and ordering a book to read.
Or you could call me and I'll tell you not to buy bullshit.
That's true, too. But...
Well, thank you for coming on my podcast.
Yeah.
We just kind of shot the shit for a while.
Yeah.
Kind of all it's been. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Talked about bodybuilding, and thanks for letting me stay at your house that weekend.
Yeah. No problem. It was a good time, dude. Anytime.
Yes, and we'll have to...
Looking forward to the next competition for sure.
I have no idea where it's going to be.
Whenever that's going to be.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably springtime, mid-spring.
Yeah.
That gives me like 6 months to bulk up, and then like a 12-week cut.
How's it feel knowing you get to bulk up going into the winter? That's got to be nice.
So good. You know how big I'm gonna look in flannels? This is the first year I've graduated to larges. Like, I am firmly in a large now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
stepped up.
Yeah, I still got spray tan fucking all over me, dude. Yeah. All over me. My legs are just, they look like I have sandpaper dragged across them.
Do they feel sticky at all still, or do they feel fine?
Feels normal. I feel normal. It's just like it's on me still. Yeah. I look, despite all of these lights that I have on, I am very dark still.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like noticeably darker than I normally am. People have commented, they're like, do you have spray tan on? I'm like, actually, yes.
Not really by choice, but yeah.
Yes, but also yes. You know, like, what do you say? You're like, I get it. But
like,
this has been chicken and rice. I'm gonna do an ending thing. This is because I'm gonna point like here. There'll probably be a subscribe thing in post. Okay. Right.
Okay.
And then down.
Should I point somewhere? Where
should I point down? Yeah, somewhere over there on his. Hold on, this is inverted. On his side of the screen somewhere over there. There's gonna be last episode, which is literally just me playing Magic. And generally, I upload these on Thursdays. I'm gonna try and get back on my Thursday upload schedule. And this has been Chicken and Rice for the Soul. Any comments, Jake?
It's great to be on here, man. Anytime you want me on, I'll be back on.
Yeah, most of the time it's just gonna be me shooting the shit with my friends that I don't live near. Ideally. So, you know, well, I'm gonna stop recording because that's a good enough outro.